All right, good morning, everyone. It is Saturday, September 6th at 6:26 in the morning. We finally got to the trailhead for Montana 2025 archery elk season. It's finally here. I'm going to unload the side-by-side, load up all my gear, and then we will be heading into the mountains just for the day. I'm going to be solo today, so excuse my crappy filming skills, but we're going to go try to find a nice bull and see if there's any bugling activity yet. Stay tuned. We made it down our first real decline, and now we're gonna walk along this stream for a little bit. That's where we just came down from. It's a pretty good drop off, just enough to get the legs warmed up first thing in the morning. It's a beautiful morning right now. It's about 45 degrees. Today's gonna be hot. It's gonna get up to mid 70s, so I'm trying to hustle and see if I can catch an elk heading back to its bedding spot before it gets too warm. Here's our stream, we'll keep following. Pretty little Montana stream. There's some native cutthroat in there too. Always fun to catch and throw back during the summer when we're out here scouting. Stay tuned. Alright, we're about 1.5 miles in now. I'm just chugging along, trying to get to where I want to be, where I know the elk activity is. It's starting to warm up, but as you can see, down in these creek bottoms, it's all frosted over. And then once you get up into the fields and on the mountainsides, your boots are getting wet just because everything's melted off. So on a hot day like today, what I'm gonna try to do is just work these creeks and then there's a couple of wallows that I want to check out as well. I've been hunting in this area for 10 years now, so I know it pretty well. And the elk return to the same wallows year after year, so we're going to keep making some tracks here, and I'll give you another update here once I get closer to the wallows. Alright, it's been about 10 minutes since our last check-in. Just wanted to give everyone kind of a lay of the land to see what we're doing today. So as you can see, there's a lot of these lower elevation grass fields. And this is where the elk will come down at nighttime, and they'll feed and water down here by that creek that I just crossed not too long ago. And then after they're done feeding, or after the sun starts coming up, they'll start moving up into these higher elevations, somewhere around 7,000 to 7,500 feet. And they'll just hang out there for the day until it cools down again, and then they'll be right back down here tonight. So what I usually try to do is, ideally you get ahead of them and you want to be hiking in the dark up to where they're going to be in the mid-morning But obviously I'm out here a little bit later today, so I'm playing catch up, and I'm going to have to be really careful about my wind and the thermals as I'm hiking in to where I think these elk are going to be at today. So I'm going to keep moving. Sun's coming up, it's heating up here, so I better get moving right now. Alright, so we're another 5 minutes up the trail from my last update, and we're starting to see our first real signs of elk activity. There's a bunch of tracks, and there's actually a bush where one of the bulls was thrashing. I'm guessing to try to get his velvet off his antlers. So you can see there's a pretty good amount of tracks, and then here's where that bull was thrashing around, digging it up. It's all tore up, and then a bunch of tracks coming out. So, good sign. Keep our fingers crossed that these elk are hanging out where I think they are, and maybe we can get some on film and get a shot at one. We'll see. Moving through a lot of blowdowns with some green vegetation underneath. As I'm moving through some of these areas, what I really like to do is I like to keep my call in my mouth, just off to the side, so that way if I break a big stick or if I jump something, I have it readily available. I can just give a cow call and hope that it stops. Just a little tip for you guys. Another thing that I like to do too is just move real slow. I know a lot of guys will try to run through these areas, especially if they don't see anything far out in front of them. But what I like to do is take a couple steps, stop and listen, almost like I'm whitetail hunting. That really helps me pinpoint the noise or the direction of the sound if I do hear a stick breaking or footsteps or anything like that. And then I can also pay attention to the wind a lot better that way. Well guys, we're almost to that first wallow I was telling you about earlier. And the elk have historically used this wallow every year consistently. And I can see it through the trees and it looks pretty tore up. It doesn't appear that there's anything in it right now, but we're gonna go up there and check it out. A lot of times when you're walking up and you get close to elk or a wallow, I would say 9 times out of 10, you can smell them before you can see them. So I actually spend a lot of time hunting with my nose instead of just my eyes. This one looks like it's pretty darn tore up, so that's a great sign. I might come back here when the weather heats up this afternoon to see if there's anybody home, but it looks like we're empty for now. We used to have a camera there many years ago, and we get some pretty good pictures off of it. Here's our wallow. As you can see, there's plenty of tracks, but overall the water in the big pool is not very cloudy. You can see that the sediment has sunk down to the bottom versus the small one on the side over here. Let me see if I can get over to it without making a bunch of noise. Plenty of tracks in here. So you can see the difference between that big pool with the sediment on the bottom and then this one, which is pretty cloudy and it looks like it's fairly fresh. You can see where there's an elk laying down right here. You can see where their shoulders are laying on the ground there. My guess would be they came out of here and then they probably went up the mountains for the warmer part of the day, if this was this morning. So we're gonna sit here for a couple minutes, listen, and then we're gonna make a game plan. Alright, so we just stopped and had a snack with some water. We're gonna keep moving. The plan really is to just keep kind of side hilling here. And then, I don't know if you can see it or not, but through the trees there's a mountain with kind of like breaks in it, in the trees. So we're just going to keep moving on this side hill and then glass across, hoping that we see something on either side, really. If we do see something across the other side, it's not too bad to just bail straight down off the edge here. And then we can just start working up that other side while the wind's still in our favor. It's starting to heat up now, so see what happens. Well, it's just before 10 a.m. and we really have not been seeing a lot of sign in here. We've been creeping along this ridge line, stopping to glass in between the trees, and haven't seen anything in front of us or across the way yet. We have seen a couple of rubs though. There's one of them right here. Decent size, decently fresh. It is still very, very early in the season, and I don't think that they're quite rutted up yet. We haven't heard any bugles. It's just been really, really quiet. A beautiful morning, but really, really quiet. So I think we're gonna drop down to the stream, and we're gonna keep walking along that. A lot of people ask why I didn't just walk along the stream to begin with, and for me, I like the side hill because it allows me to be able to hear, and then that extra elevation really lets me be able to see a lot further across the way too. So I think we're going to give it up now. We're going to drop down to the stream. We're going to see if we can kick something off the stream and maybe get a shot at it. So, slight change of plans. There was one more wallow that I really wanted to check out, just to kind of determine if the elk have been over in this canyon or not yet. Like I said, it's really early still, and a lot of times the elk get pushed back in here by the, I don't know, 3rd or 4th week of archery season. And same thing with this wallow. It doesn't look like it's been touched for a little while anyways, so kind of thinking that the elk probably haven't been pushed back in here yet, or they just haven't needed this canyon yet because there's still so much grass, and it's been a really wet year out here. So I think we're gonna adjust game plans and try to figure them out. There's a small mule deer right up ahead, probably 50 yards ahead of me. It's the 3rd one I've seen. I don't usually see mule deer in here, so that's a really encouraging sign that maybe the numbers are starting to come back up. Let's see how close we can get. I don't know if it's a buck or a doe. I can only see the butt of it. Nice buck. That's the first buck mule deer I've seen in here in 5 or 6 years now, so that's really encouraging. I'm gonna put the camera away and see if I can sneak in. was just sneaking along in through here. Really nice area that has a lot of grass. I set my pack down and let off a couple of cow calls. We just had a bull bugle. Our first real bugle of the season, finally. Finally, we've been putting some miles on, man. But he's uphill quite a bit. So, I'm gonna try to get him to come down this way. I don't know if he has cows with him or not. It was like a lazy bugle. You can tell that he's bedded down because it's starting to get hot. It's about noontime right now too, so see if we can make something happen. I'm gonna keep pushing uphill a little bit further. See if he wants to party. So I'm not sure if the camera can pick it up or not, but there's cows up ahead mewing at me. Every time I call, they start sounding off and answering back. So I'm gonna have to take it really slow and make sure my wind is good. I don't think they're more than a couple 100 yards up in front of me. So I'm probably gonna go a little bit further. I'll drop my pack and knock an arrow and see what happens. Slight uphill wind, I'm probably gonna have to circle around that way so that I can get over there. That's where the calling is coming from. I don't know if they're bedded or if they're up on their feet, but we're gonna find out. First knocked arrow of the season. I can smell them. Let's see what happens. It sounded like they were down over that edge, but it's hard to tell in here. It's so thick. Well, unfortunately those elk either had to have smelled me or seen me, because as soon as I got close to where I thought they were, they shut right up. They stopped talking. I never heard them when they left the area. I did see where they were bedded down, but obviously I couldn't catch up to them. So it's the way it goes sometimes. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, so real hot, getting really hot. So I'm gonna go down and check that first wallow, and then we're at the point where I'm so far back in here, if I shoot something, it's gonna spoil before I have the chance to get it out, since I have stuff to do tomorrow. So I'm gonna check that wallow, and then if there's nothing there, nothing's used it, I'm gonna head out of here for the day. So overall, it's been an awesome day, beautiful day. Got some action, which is nice. And yeah, let's go check that wallow out. That is the stuff that we just came busting down through. We're not far from the wallow, but you can see how easy it is for these elk to really disappear if they want to. It's incredibly hard to get close to anything in here, especially if they're in this stuff. So the fact that we were able to get that close today, that's a win in my book. Well, I'm sitting here above the wallow, and it's pretty clear that nothing's touched it since we came through this morning. So I'm gonna finish my sandwich, drink some Mountain Ops Ignite, and then hike on out of here for the day. It's been a great day, and like I mentioned earlier, I do all the butchering and processing myself on my animals, so I know my limitations for how long it takes for the meat to spoil and how efficiently I can get it out of here. And at that point that we were up on the hill, I felt comfortable taking a shot if I had it, but any later in the day it wouldn't be worth it to me because of the heat and the time that I have to get it out of here. So it's just the way it goes when you have limited time and limited resources. I'm solo today, so I'd have to take at least 3 trips to get it out of here, and I'm 2.5 miles from the trailhead. So anyways, it's been a great day though. Looking forward to coming back next weekend, and we'll see what that holds. Appreciate you guys following along. If you like this type of stuff, just like and comment, subscribe to the channel. This is a new channel that I just started. I'm just documenting my hunting and fishing journeys. I got a lot of hunts coming up. I got tags for deer, whitetail, mule deer, a couple of elk tags, a couple of bear tags, and I'll be helping out on a couple of hunts too for antelope. So plenty more to come. Yeah, I appreciate you guys following along. See you in the next one.